play the classical accordion, and just before the music speaks for itself, and I think it's the best way, I'd like to say something about my instrument, which I normally do in my recitals or concerts. And what differs it from a folk instrument, which is probably one of most recognized in the world for its looks and, of course, the sound of it, in many countries called a squeeze box. So what differs it is one switch in the left hand, which was only made in 1960s, so it's a fairly young instrument. What it does, from the keyboard, which everyone knows, papa, it creates 4.5 octaves of single notes. And of course it opens new doors, not only for performers, but also the composers. And the work I would like to play first tonight is a transcription of an orchestral piece written by Russian composer Alfred Schnittke, which was unfortunately banned from performance in Soviet times, but now we can do it. And it's going to be 3 movements from his ballet called Sketches. All the movements are based on Gogol's novels. The first one is a naive Chichikov's childhood. The second one is the Waltz, which is a depiction of the ball. And the final movement is called the Polka, which is based on a story called The Overcoat, where the main character, Akaki Bashmachkin, lives his lonely life, goes to work and back home. And one winter he notices that his overcoat is so old, it has holes inside it. So he decides to buy himself a new one. But there is not enough money, and he starts saving up more, doesn't switch on the light, walks on his toes not to spoil the shoes. Eventually, he gets himself a new coat, and on the first night, coming back from work, the robbers steal it. And Akaki Bashmachkin feels so sorry about this that he falls ill and eventually dies. But his ghost keeps haunting the city, stealing other people's coats in revenge.
you. Thank you so much. Not yet. Okay. So, this was beautiful. Thank you so much. When you first told me Schnittke, I'm like, Schnittke? Play Bach or something like that. But this was.
I tried to convince.
You were very adamant about it. Very. Okay, so your grandmother, told you, basically supported you or said, take up the accordion.
Yes.
Well, my grandmother told me a lot of things that I didn't do. Maybe I should have done them. But no, seriously, why did you take up this exotic instrument?
I think she sort of brought it home and gave it to me, rather than asked me if I'd like to play it first. But then we sort of had fun with her, she sang to it, we enjoyed lots of songs, and she had a blast. So did I later on.
Well, this is an exotic instrument. Do you ever feel lonely? I mean, there's no jobs in orchestras for accordions, so you can't apply and go to the Berlin Symphony and say, okay, do you have a job for me? And that take you. You're on your own basically with this instrument. Is that a good thing for you?
I think that all accordionists all over the world, myself and my colleagues, we try to create opportunities for ourselves and introduce this instrument, which I believe fully deserves a place on a classical concert platform. So we create these opportunities by being in ensembles or playing a solo with orchestras, as well as solo recitals very often. And this instrument is creating a lot of interest among the people who want something new with the classical music, who want to hear not only the new sound, but also new interpretations. And this is a one-man band, so it can create the sound of the whole orchestra or play piano transcriptions. I'm not saying by any chance that it is better or anything. It's just different, and some people will like it, some will not. But I strongly believe in this instrument. This is why I...
Oh, well, we see that. We see that. Last question. I mean, this sounds extremely full. Why is it not more popular in classical music, like piano or the violin or the cello? Why is this still such an exotic instrument?
I think there is also a cliche about accordion and harmonicas in general, that it's usually played at the weddings. Some drunk man takes it up, and which is true. It does happen still, but I think there is another side to it. And now that the instrument has developed so much, and it's still very young, we are still creating the identity by commissioning the pieces from new composers. So I think it will only escalate from here on, and hopefully they will get rid of this cliche, or shall we say just add another layer to classical music by bringing something new with our instrument.
Next you're going to play Zubitsky?
Yes, it's a piece by a Ukrainian composer, Vladimir Zubitsky, which is called Omaggio ad Astor Piazzolla, in the memory of the great Argentine composer who's created the new style of tango nuevo. But I believe that tango has to be played at least by two people, if not more. And since I'm alone here, I've chosen this original work, which was written for the classical accordion. And it's fairly new, so I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you.
Ksenija Sidorova.